I'm back from the grave and straight up sprinting for the river. Found this massive fat-ass leech chillin' in the muck. Then he just downs it raw. It's thrashing in his throat, nasty as hell, but he chokes back the puke since he knows the world is about to end. One massive gamma-ray blast is about to nuke the entire planet. Once it lands, everyone gets powers. It all comes down to the last living thing you ate before the world went to crap. Some guys ate chicken and ended up as pop stars. Others accidentally swallowed a leather belt. Those dudes turned into 100-meter crocs, straight up eating everything. In his past life, he only ate a duck neck. So he turned into a rat, hunted by everyone and barely surviving that radioactive wasteland. Now, he's back with this infinite devour system. Basically, the more dangerous the thing he eats, the more cracked he gets. He remembers that in his old life, a leech like this eventually grew into a world-eating monster. Watching that thing wiggle in the tank makes his stomach totally flip, but the chance to get super strong cures his nerves. He grits his teeth and reaches inside. The leech snaps and bites his finger, sinking its teeth in. Blood hits the water and the thing goes wild. Now he's absolutely pissed. He snaps. He snatches the slimy thing and shoves it down. Congrats, host. Mutant leech gone. Gene extraction finished. That nasty bite on his finger just zips shut instantly. This insane wave of power hits his system. He runs to the mirror and just stops dead. His hair's now fire engine red and his eyes are glowing. Even weirder, a mouth just popped up in his right palm. He can tell this thing will suck the blood out of anyone just because he feels like it. The red hair and hand mouth vanish. He looks normal again. Guess he can turn it on and off whenever. That makes life easy. But the hype dies down fast. He's only got less than 2 days before everything burns. He's still got 2 devour slots left. He remembers some rich guy named Yam Jing had a rare electric eel in his private collection. Once the world ended, that eel turned into a legendary beast. If he eats it now, his power level will skyrocket. But right now, he's just some guy who can't get near Yum Jinguk. But the dude has a daughter, Yummy, who's currently hitting the books at a top-tier university. She stays under the radar. Every day, she walks through the park behind campus to catch her ride home. So Kang Ho stakes out the park and boom, there's Yummy. As she walks toward her Rolls Royce, he yells, "Yo, kidnapping!" Yummy doesn't even blink, but her 3 bodyguards look like they're about to explode. The main bodyguard pulls a baton and rushes him. Kang Ho just drops him with one easy punch. The other 2 guys and Yummy just stand there, frozen. He walks over and kicks that Rolls Royce a solid 8 meters across the lot. When you're that strong, nobody fights back. He walks to Yummy, who's trying her best not to freak out. "You want cash? Or me?" she asks. "Call your dad, Yum Jinguk. Tell him to bring that rare electric eel." Yummy is lost. This kidnapper doesn't want money or her, he just wants a damn fish. She makes the call looking confused. On the other end, her dad totally loses it. "What? Someone's actually threatening you? I'm sending backup." He hits up the military while telling his driver to go grab that eel from home. 30 minutes later, armored trucks surround the park. Yum Jing-guk steps out and tosses over a briefcase. Kang Ho pops it open, grabs the electric eel, and just gulps it down alive right there. Everyone's jaw drops. That eel has enough juice to fry a bull, and he just ate the whole thing. Eel genes extracted. Scarlet Thunder mode unlocked. Just like that, his hair turns into a red fireball. He conjures this lightning ball in his left hand and just chucks it. It explodes in a massive electrical burst. Every soldier there hits the ground instantly. Only Yummy and her dad are still standing. He gives them one last look and vanishes into the night. Under 24 hours left, he's got 1 more devour slot. His next target is this falcon at the city zoo that's already started mutating. He takes a cab there and finds the bird's feathers have turned into sharp, jet-black blades. It's literally pecking through the iron cage. He snatches the bird by the neck and bites down hard. Congrats, mutant falcon. Devour successful. Gene extraction done. Thunderwings acquired time to fly, shoot lightning, and throw blade feathers. Massive black wings burst from his back. He takes off into the sky to test out his new ride. Right then, his stomach lets out this monstrous growl. We're talking a roar, not a rumble. He pulls a hard U-turn in midair and blasts toward the biggest supermarket in sight. Inside, it's instant chaos. People take one look at this dude and start losing their minds, screaming and tripping over each other as they bolt. He just blanks them and heads straight for the meat aisle. He starts going ham on raw beef, shredding it with his bare hands like some kind of animal. He clears out over 20 pounds before he finally feels human again. The second he's done, his phone starts blowing up. It's Yomi. She sounds like she's having a total meltdown. Kang Ho, seriously, everything is going south. Apparently, some humanoid freak shows broke in. She's begging for help. He just hangs up. Great. The end of the world is ahead of schedule. He catches his reflection and boom, his black hair turns into this insane crimson fire, and his eyes, they're basically pools of swirling blood now. Then, from behind, a sound like someone ripping a metal sheet in half. These massive wings made of black bone snap open 4 meters across, easy. They're buzzing with this blue-white electricity that's honestly terrifying. The feathers on the edges are basically surgical scalpels. Sparks are flying everywhere, burning nasty black marks into the store's floor tiles. Thick scorch marks are blooming all over the floor. The people still hanging around? Yeah, they're screaming even louder, scrambling into corners like rats. Kang Ho doesn't even look at them. That raw beef was basically just an appetizer. His stomach is still talking to him. He's feeling that predator hunger now, like a falcon on the hunt. Plus, that savage electric eel energy is thundering through his system. He drops into a crouch. The glass ceiling above him just explodes on cue. Suddenly, he's a bolt of lightning shooting straight into the clouds. Looking down, the city is a disaster. It's like the whole skyline is rotting right in front of him. Lights are flicking off everywhere. It's not just a power outage either. It looks like something is literally eating the light, patch by patch. Massive plumes of smoke are choking the air. Fire is licking the sides of the dark buildings. He hears these weird howls, definitely not human, mixed with bursts of gunfire. It's happening. Early. His red pupils tighten up. His wings kick into high gear. He's just a blue-white blur in the sky, hauling ass toward the fancy villa district on the west side. Even with the wind screaming in his ears, he can see the absolute carnage on the streets. Total gridlock. Smashed cars everywhere, most of them trailing black smoke. People are hauling it, but they're being chased by these creepy dark shapes that move way too fast and way too weird. A stray dog, well, it used to be a dog. Now it's huge and red-eyed jumps some poor pedestrian. He can smell the blood from way up here. The whole world just reeks of the apocalypse. It's thick, it's gross, it's everywhere. He remembers his past life. The big blast wasn't supposed to happen until the 48-hour clock ran out. So why the hell is it starting now? Maybe it's because he came back? Or something else? He doesn't have time for a philosophy lesson, so he just shuts his brain off. Yumi needs to stay alive, at least for now. Plus, Yum Jinguk's huge stash of supplies at the villa is way too important to lose. That place is basically a fortress in the making. It's the whole foundation for his master plan. And those things Yomi saw? Those are Dank's. Total pains in the ass, honestly. Kang Ho pushes the pedal to the metal. He sees the villa's iron fence. It's been twisted like a pretzel, leaving huge gaps. The garden is a graveyard. Bodies in bodyguard suits are just scattered everywhere in really weird positions. Blood is all over the fancy lawn and those decorative rocks. About 8 of those dark freaks are currently laying siege to the house. They look humanish from a distance, but their skin is this nasty, ghostly white color. Like they've been dead for a month, yet they're moving at light speed. They're running on all fours like rabid animals. They've got these long bone claws growing out of their fingers. They're just going to town on the front doors and the bulletproof glass. The windows are already covered in cracks. It's only a matter of time. One of them catches his scent and snaps its head up. Kang Ho finally gets a good look at its ugly mug. Everything is twisted. Its mouth is literally ripped open to its ears, packed with a jagged mess of yellow fangs. The eyes are just milky white, no pupils, no soul. Just a pure, bottomless hunger for a living snack. Dank humanoid corpse variants, basically the level 1 trash mob of the apocalypse, twice as strong as a normal person and way faster. No brains, just instinct but in a pack? Yeah, they're a problem. He spots Yumi through a second-floor window. She looks terrified, but she's white-knuckling something that's glowing green. Kang Ho gives his wings one massive, powerful flap. He goes into a vertical dive so fast, he actually leaves a ghost of himself hanging in the air. 3 of those freaks spot him and jump, screeching like banshees. They start swinging those bone claws at him. Kang Ho doesn't even bother with the lightning. He just brings his wings around in one brutal horizontal sweep. That nasty metal-on-bone sound fills the air. 2 zombie freaks get sliced into 4 or 5 chunks mid-jump. Rank, oily blood, and bits of inside parts just start raining down from the sky. Number 3 catches a hit right in the solar plexus. Chest collapses like a crushed soda can. Bones, dust, floops down like wet garbage. It twitches twice, then lights out. Stinky corpse monsters, 0. Kang Ho sticks the landing right by the villa door. His wings stay out mostly. They are just hovering there, flared out like he is ready for round 2. Static pops everywhere, making his red hair and eyes glow like crazy. With blood on his face, he looks like a god coming for souls. The last four freaks are actually shook. Seeing their buddies turned into confetti makes them freeze for a hot second. Whatever is left of their brains gets the message. This guy is a straight-up predator. They are terrified. Suddenly, the front door swings open. This older bodyguard sticks his head out, yelling, "Yo, it is a death trap out there. Get inside!" Before he even finishes his sentence, the monsters hear dinner. They roar like banshees and start lunging forward again. Now they are gunning for Kang Ho and the guard. Kang Ho just smirks. Sweet. Time to see what this new gear can actually do. He thinks it, and boom, that weird mouth in his palm starts sucking air like a high-powered vacuum. The front two ghouls start shaking like crazy. Under their gray skin, blood bubbles up and just pops through the surface. Two skinny lines of blood shoot out like arrows. Sissip, straight into the hole in his hand. Those two ghouls turn into raisins right before your eyes. They stiffen up and just faceplant into the dirt. The other two are already on him, though. Bony claws are swinging, aimed right for his mug. Does he move? Nope. Just lifts his arm, all chill, and mumbles, "Scarlet Thunder. Activate." This insane blue-white spark explodes off his arm. It spreads out fast, then starts tightening up. It hardens into this crazy gauntlet made of straight-up lightning, wrapping his whole hand and arm. The thing is blood red, with sparks crawling over it like snakes. He balls his fist and punches right into those claws. No fancy moves, just raw, scary power. Everything in the way gets pulverized. Crack. It is a nasty sound. As soon as those bony fingers touch the lightning, the claws and the arms just turn into literal dust. The punch keeps going. The shockwave slams into their chest like a freight train, not losing an ounce of speed. Those two go airborne like they just got hit by a Mack truck, moving way faster backward than forward. They smash through a couple of fancy yard trees, snapping the trunks like they were toothpicks. They finally land in a heap, looking like wet rags. There is a smoking hole in their chests, still buzzing with sparks. Everyone inside peeking through the door and the windows just goes dead silent. Absolute quiet. All you hear is some scared-as-hell breathing and the fire hissing. Kang Ho just shakes out his hand like it is nothing. The lightning gauntlet fizzles out and disappears. He stares at the bodyguard, who is standing there like a total statue. The guy snaps out of it and yanks the door open. Man, the inside of that place is a total disaster. All the fancy furniture is trashed. There is blood all over the floor. It is a mess. Two guards are already gone, including the guy who let him in. Only 3 of them are left breathing. Those 3 are hurt, hiding behind the stairs and chairs. Their hands are shaking on their guns. Yong Jing-guk is slumped against a post. He has a nasty cut on his arm, trying to tie it off with a piece of his shirt, pale, but not panicking. Then he sees Kang Ho walk in. Red hair, glowing eyes, and those black lightning wings wide open. His eyes go wide. He tries to say something, but nothing happens. Then Yomi comes sprinting down from the 2nd floor. Her hair is a mess. She looks even more ghost white than she did when she was looking out the window. But she is gripping this glowing, green, fist-sized rock like her life depends on it. Because it does. The rock glows, making this 2-meter-wide bubble of light that covers her like a shield. It looks thin, but that bubble is the only reason she is not dead. "Kang Ho?" she stutters, voice shaking. She just stares. This guy? He is totally different now. Honestly, he barely looks human anymore. She cannot even wrap her head around it. I mean, just a bit ago, the dude was eating a live eel. She still sees him taking out soldiers like it was nothing. It is burned into her brain. But this scary vibe coming off him now? Park Kang-ho was a teddy bear compared to this blood-soaked demon. He just nods. He takes one look at the green rock she is holding and the shield around her. Assessing the situation, a tiny glitch flickers in his blood-red eyes. Yup, that B-rank jade catalyst thingy is right where he figured it'd be. And since the apocalypse decided to show up way ahead of schedule, the damn thing's already half awake. Old Man Yum asks, "You smoke those freaks outside?" "Yeah," I say. But honestly, we're just getting started. I walk over to this massive window. The city's pitch black, but you can hear the screams from miles away. Whatever space gas or gamma burst just nuked the planet hit early. Now every living soul is mutating into something nasty. Those things we just scrapped? Total bottom-tier trash. The real nightmare fuel hasn't even shown up yet. My words hit him like a bucket of ice water. The 3 bodyguards still standing? Ghost white. Legit vibrating. Yum Jing-guk has seen some serious stuff in his time. He takes a massive breath and tries not to lose his cool. "Now what?" he asks. Seeing my freakish power and the hellscape outside, The old man knows Cash and Cloud are officially dead. Might makes right now, period. I turn around and look at him. In the dark, my red eyes are straight up glowing. How's the fort, I ask. He says it's mostly reinforced concrete and steel. The windows are custom bulletproof glass, but they barely held together during that last wave of ugliness. There's a diesel generator and a fuel tank. The bunker downstairs has some snacks and water, but it's pretty pathetic. It was built for a weekend, not forever. Useless, I tell him. That glass won't hold against a real beating. Generators are just dinner bells for monsters. That bunker is a coffin. Hiding is for losers. This place needs to be a base. A spot to defend, hold, and strike from. Yomi looks at me like I've finally lost my mind. A base? Yeah. Step 1. Kill every monster and weird-ass threat in this entire villa district. Build a perimeter. Loot supplies. Bring in survivors who aren't useless. I look at the remaining guards. You want to live? They nod like their heads are going to fall off. My voice says, don't even think about arguing. Yomi, that shiny rock. I point at the jade in her hands. How long can you keep that bubble up? Can you make it bigger? She hesitates, staring down at the smooth stone like it's a ticking bomb. She locks in, focuses hard, and that jade starts glowing like a neon sign. This pale green wall stretches out, barely covering the room until it reaches me. I think so, but it's exhausting. Cold sweat is already dripping down her face. Early stage buffs are like that, I tell her. Don't waste it. Keep it for when the real crap hits the fan. I nod. Not bad. Then I look at the old man. You're busted up. Rest. Then call anyone left and count every single thing we can use. Food, meds, gas, tools, guns, all of it. Make a list. The old man grits his teeth and nods. Understood. I point to the guard by the door. The one who looks the least like a chewed-up toy. Name? The guy stands up straight. Li Wu. Grab your gear. You three follow me. I don't wait for an answer. My jet black wings snap open again. Li Wu and the other two guys trade looks. Pure terror in their eyes. But underneath that, the don't let me die vibe. They grab their pistols and shotguns off the floor and follow the guy who looks like a mix of a demon and a god. Outside, the air smells like a butcher shop. I stand in the yard, red eyes burning through the dark like a predator. I tilt my head. Just a little. I hear it all. Screeching, chewing, the sound of something wet dragging. Two behind the left bushes, I whisper. Li Wu, handle them. He's shaking like a leaf, but he levels his shotgun and signals the boys. Professional bodyguards, after all. Once they have guns, the muscle memory kicks in and they stop crying. They move in a triangle, real tactical-like. Right on cue, two small, ugly-ass corpses jump out. Bang! Shots ring out, loud as hell in the quiet night. First one, complete miss. Amateur hour. The second shot shreds a shoulder. But the monster doesn't care. It just keeps coming, hungry for brains. Headshots only, I bark. Li Wu snaps too. Point blank, he blasts the thing right in its face. Gross black juice sprays everywhere. One down. The other gets turned into Swiss cheese by the other two guards. I check the system pop-up. Assist rewards, 50%. Lame, but hey, better than nothing. I need to farm evolution points fast. Max out my skills before the real monsters show up. Right then, something's chewing on a body by the villa next door. A mutated wolf dog, nearly double its normal size. Check out this nasty mutt. Drool everywhere, snacking on a dead guard like it's a chew toy. The beast clocks us, fixes its demonic red eyes on the crew, and lets out a low growl. Suddenly, Kang Ho hits the turbo button. He's in that wolf's face before it can even blink. He turns his hand into a blade, sparks it up with electricity, and drives it home. His hand knife punches straight through that dog's temple and pops out the other side. The creature whimpers once and goes totally limp. Level 1. Easy peasy. It's even more pathetic than those zombie variants. Guess the animal mutants have their own noob tier list. For the next 60 minutes, Kang Ho leads his 3 fanboys on a blood-soaked field trip around the fancy Yam Villa. They find more corpses and mutated pets, even some gross fish thing crawling out of the pool. It's covered in nasty bumps and wiggly tentacles. Big yikes. Kang Ho mostly just watches his minions struggle, only jumping in when things get hairy, or using his palm mouth to snack on souls from afar. It's basically a boot camp for the bodyguards. Plus, Kang Ho gets a steady stream of that sweet, sweet evolution XP. These guys went from shaking like leaves to actually holding their own. Now they're even jumping solo zombies like total pros. They hit the empty villa next door and wait. Is that someone crying for help? Typical. Down in the dark garage, there's a couple and some teen kid huddled inside an SUV like sardines. Outside the ride, 3 nasty corpses are absolutely going to town on the windows. The glass is literally seconds from shattering. Kang Ho just flicks 3 shiny feathers, bam, 3 headshots, clean as a whistle. The rescued family is basically sobbing with relief. They can't thank him enough. Li Wu takes the lead and walks them back to the main villa safe and sound. Between the sweep and the noisy gunshots, 7 or 8 more random survivors crawl out of their hiding spots and join the party. Gardeners, cleaners, rich folks, all looking like they've seen a ghost. By the time they get back, the living room has 20 terrified souls. But the moment they see Kang Ho's scary mug and his armed squad, everyone shuts up and backs away real quick. Old man Yung Jin-guk's finally got his arm patched up. He's glued to a tablet, looking super serious. Yumi is right there beside him. She's still clutching that jade rock, though the glowing shield has shrunk down to just her and her dad. She looks like a ghost, totally drained. He tells Kang Ho they've counted the snacks, mostly fancy steaks and kitchen staples. If we don't act like gluttons, we can feed 30 people for about 14 days. Plus, the private well means we won't die of thirst anytime soon. There's some basic first aid stuff. The generator is still half full of diesel, so the lights stay on for now. We've got a few cars in the garage with a little gas in the tanks. I also dug out 2 hunting rifles I had stashed away. But let's be real, that's basically nothing. Kang Ho looks over the list. Makes sense. The old guy is a billionaire, not some crazy warlord. Having this much is a win. Power goes to the fences and the lights. No one touches the food, everything gets rationed. Grab every bucket and bottle you can find and fill them up from that well. Right now, give all the meds to whoever knows what a bandage is. We need that stuff organized. Kang Ho barks orders like a drill sergeant. Li Wu, you and your boys are the new squad leaders. Find some guys who aren't cowards and show them how to hold a gun. They're on guard duty now. If anything twitchy happens, don't hesitate, just fire a warning shot immediately. Li Wu screams, "Yes, sir." They all stand a little taller. In this mess, having a weapon means you're actually someone. Yumi asks in a tiny, shaky voice, "Kang Ho, are we actually safe now?" Kang Ho gazes out the window at the pitch-black night, hearing the distant screams and seeing the occasional burst of fire. His red eyes don't look relaxed at all. This is just the warm-up. The real hell hasn't even started. He turns back to the room, looking at all those scared, pathetic faces hoping for a miracle. Look, this place is just a pit stop. If you think hiding under the bed saves you, you're dead wrong. Starting tomorrow, we're going on supply runs for guns, meds, and fuel. And we're turning this place into a fortress. Some people look like they're gonna barf from fear, but most, they've finally got a spark in their eyes. At least they have a powerhouse in their corner. A real plan. A fighting chance to actually stay breathing. Kang Ho barks out, "Yo, everyone find a corner and crash. Stay sharp. We're doing 3 shifts tonight, no slackers." Nobody argues. They just huddle in the shadows like scared strays while young Jin-guk deals out tiny scraps of food and sips of water. Ho kicks it to a guest room that isn't totally trashed, slams the door shut, peace at last. Time to crunch some numbers and plan his next evolution. One thought, and boom, the system UI pops up right in his face. Status, healthy. Genes devoured, got that rank B mutant leech and some rank C rare electric eel action, plus that C rank falcon. Basic healing and buffed stats are already in the bag. That creepy mouth in his palm? Yeah, it sucks up blood and turns it into sweet, sweet evolution points. Scarlet Thunder armament, level 1. He's rocking a lightning gauntlet, but it's pretty basic right now. Level 1 thunder wings, he can fly and throw feather blades. Standard power. Passive lightning? Check. 1,768 points in the bank. Bad news? The devour slots are maxed out. No more new base powers for this guy. Most of those points came from wrecking monsters at the supermarket and sweeping this fancy neighborhood. Those core devour slots are gone. Straight up finished. This means he can't just snack on core creatures to get new tricks anymore. If he wants to get jacked, he's got to level up what he's got or fuse stuff together. Ho just sits there, thinking, "System, hit the Scarlet Thunder in the wings. Prioritize the level ups. 500 points? Just take them." Boom. Level 2 Scarlet Thunder. Fast lightning, better defense, and now it covers more of his body. Pure power. 500 more points for the wings. Level 2 Thunder Wings unlocked. Faster, more agile, and those feathers hit like trucks. He even got a short burst of speed now. Sick. 768 points left. Ho stops there. Gotta keep a rainy day fund for when things go sideways. Emergency stash is a must. He's got a gut feeling about this fusion thing, even if he hasn't met the requirements yet. Right before he closes the menu, he spots something tiny at the bottom. Transparent text. Totally new. A single line of ghostly text just appeared out of nowhere. High energy spike. High risk energy tide anomaly detected. It mentions someone named Yoi. Text blinks once and vanishes. Ho's face goes stone cold. A high risk tide? Could this weird tide be why the world ended way earlier than the script said? That jade barrier of Yao Mai's? Definitely not as simple as it looks on the surface. Out the window, something massive is moving in the pitch black. The stars are gone. It's going to be a long-ass night. Beyond the villa gates, in the blood-stained shadows, things are getting weirder by the second. A mutant roach the size of a freaking truck tire crawls past a broken shop window, its shell shining like chrome. Down in the sewers, a whole chorus of skittering nightmares. Just hundreds of things moving in the dark. Over at some hospital morgue, a cold metal drawer just gets pushed open from the inside. Yikes. Ho snaps back to reality. His red eyes go calm. Doesn't matter what broke the world. Doesn't matter what secret Yomi is hiding. He just needs to survive and outgrow every freak out there. Gotta be stronger than anyone in his way. He drops into a cross-legged seat and starts moving that energy, blending those 3 mutant genes, making them flow like one smooth, deadly machine. That palm mouth is twitching like it's starving for something fresh, something richer. Inside the villa, the only sound is people trying and failing to breathe normally. Random noises in the distance, millions of bloodshot eyes opening in the dark. Welcome to night one of the apocalypse. The dark is basically drowning the whole neighborhood like thick, gross ink. Inside the Yoi family house, only a few dim yellow lights are flickering on the generator, barely doing anything against that creepy void. Over 20 people are piled into the living room, just trying to exist. Sleep? Forget about it. Every howl or gust of wind makes everyone jump and hold their breath. Ho is upstairs in an empty bedroom, sitting on the floor like some Zen warrior. He's back to looking like a normal guy, black hair, normal eyes. The red glow is gone for now. But man, that sharp look in his eyes. You can't hide that. He's wide awake, waiting. He's deep in his own head, riding that weird internal wave. It's like a funky cocktail of leech, eel, and falcon juices humming through his veins. Every lap around that circuit makes him feel a bit more jacked and in control of his freakish new perks. That weird mouth on his palm, totally zonked out and quiet for now. But the thing's still starving for a blood snack, always buzzing in the back of his mind. Suddenly, bam, he feels someone's eyes boring into his soul. Didn't hear a thing. Didn't smell them either. Just this raw, nasty vibe creeping up his spine like cold sludge. Blame the falcon instincts or that bottomless pit of a system screaming big bad energy nearby. Boom, eyes wide. For a split second, they're glowing red like a dying ember, then back to normal. He's at the window in a heartbeat dead silent, like a shadow's shadow, peeking through the raggedy curtains. Past the flickering emergency lights, it's pitch black, but his souped-up eyes see everything. Those shadows in the bushes? Way too thick. Plus, the air starts smelling like a butcher shop floor. Not that standard zombie rot either. This is wetter, muddier. Kang Ho knows it's not another brain eater. Zombies are just loud and hungry. Whatever's lurking out there is playing it cool, patient, and nasty. Then he hears it, a tiny scrape against the wall. To Kang Ho, it's as loud as a gunshot in the middle of the night. Heads up. Something's fast, he growls, keeping his voice low but dangerous. The sound carries through the whole villa. Same time, he gives his hand a sharp little flick. A jagged spark of blue lightning zaps from his fingers, hitting a bucket downstairs with perfect aim. Clang! The noise is insane. Everyone jumps out of their skins, suddenly wide awake and terrified. Li Wu and the guards scramble, grabbing their gear. They're staring up at Kang Ho, eyes like saucers. Lock it down, doors, windows, everything. Before he even finishes, the villa starts falling apart. Total chaos at the back. A kitchen window that was already toasted by zombies just gets pulverized. A massive dark blur lunges inside, glass flying everywhere, hitting the floor without making a peep. Right on cue, a woman near the kitchen starts screaming her head off. The light hits it. Think giant dog meets mutant gecko. It's low to the ground and nasty, coated in slimy, dark green scales that disappear in the dark. That long tail's whipping around like a possessed rope. Worst part? No eyes, just a giant gaping maw split open all the way back to its ears. Rows of hooked teeth dripping with nasty spit. And forget claws, this thing's got something weirder. Suction cups on its feet. That's how it climbed the wall without making a single sound. Light them up! Liu's shaking like a leaf, but he remembers what the boss said. He levels the shotgun and lets it rip. Too bad he mostly just turns the kitchen cabinets into toothpicks. The creature's a blur. By the time the trigger clicks, it's gone. Pellets just bounce off those tough scales. Scales are too thick. Go for the mouth. Kill the legs. Kang Ho's standing at the top of the stairs, cool as a cucumber, just watching the show. He's seen these ugly mugs before. Class C stalkers built for hiding and jumping out at people. Handguns won't do squat to those scales. Huge bite, but honestly, these things are dumb as bricks. Totally predictable. The stalker dodges the blast, looking pretty ticked off now. Its tail smashes the dining table into splinters, then it bunches up its back legs like a spring. It launches at some guy holding a golf club. Wrong move. That's when Kang Ho finally steps in. 3 feathers, crackling with blue-white juice, streak down like high-tech sniper rounds. They cut the thing's path off completely. Even with no eyes, its danger sense is top tier. It twists in midair, dodging the 2 feathers aimed at its squishy bits. But the third one? Direct hit. It punches right through the back leg joint. The thing screams bloody murder. The lightning feather is buried deep. Then the electricity pops. It faceplants hard, leg totally fried. Thick green slime starts pooling on the floor. The guards don't waste a second, they just dump lead into the thing's weak spot. Bullets finally sink in. Right then, the front door explodes in a shower of glass. 2 more of those freaky stalkers are crashing the party. Everyone in the room is basically losing their minds and backing up. Some tough guys grab their pipes and point them at the door, but their hands are straight up vibrating. Then Kang Ho barks an order. Yumi has been sitting there like a statue next to Yum Jinguk, squeezing that jade stone. She jumps when she hears her name. She is staring right at this stalker's nasty head shoving through the busted glass of the entryway. Girl is terrified cannot breathe terrified, but Kang Ho's ice-cold voice just kicks her brain into survival mode. She grits her teeth and dumps every ounce of focus into that rock. Suddenly, a massive jade-green light just pops off. Boom! A see-through green wall covers the whole living room, shutting that front door tight. Looks thin, right? Wrong. It is tough as nails. Those 2 stalkers try to bust through and just eat dirt. They literally bounce off like they hit a giant invisible trampoline. That is when Kang Ho leaps from the 2nd floor. Mid-air, his thunder wings rip open with a crazy loud crack. Between the black bone and the sparks flying, he looks like some mythical bird god. He is not even using the wings to hit them. He is just using the gravity. He balls up his fist, and this red lightning starts swirling around his arm like a storm. He drops a massive punch right on the stalker that is already leaking from bullet holes. Direct hit, right on the dome. Those scales that blocked bullets, they just crumble like soggy cardboard. Between the lightning and the drop, stuff just sprays everywhere. The headless monster twitches twice, and it is game over. Kang Ho is not done. 1 wing beat, and he is flying at the other 2 who are still dizzy from hitting the wall. They are just starting to see straight when, surprise, a glowing electric fist fills their entire field of vision. 2 massive thuds, a sound like dry wood snapping, and a lightning blast. Both those uglies get sent flying across the floor. The room starts smelling like burnt hair and a butcher shop. Total silence, except for some heavy breathing and teeth chattering. Li Wu and the boys are holding their smoking guns, just staring at the 3 dead freaks by the door. Then they look at Kang Ho. He is just folding his wings, looking bored, like he just swatted a couple of flies. Adrenaline is still pumping through Yumi's chest, but her face is ghostly white. The second Kang Ho finishes the job, her tank hits empty. She cannot hold the shield anymore and just starts to keel over. Yum Jinguk catches her. That jade stone is barely glowing now. Check for survivors, Kang Ho says. Fix the doors. Board the windows. Get these bodies out of here and dump them far away. Scrub the blood. That smell is basically a dinner bell for monsters. His voice is so casual it is creepy, like he is talking about a spilled drink, but he is eyeing those corpses, especially those suction cup feet. See, stalkers are usually water dwellers. They like it damp. Closest water around here is the fancy lake in the villa zone, or the old moat further out. They hunt in packs, sure, but they do not usually wander this far from the water or pick fights for no reason. A house this bright and smelling like people? They should see that as a threat, not a snack. Their being here means something way scarier kicked them out of their home. Kang Ho walks to the shattered window. He peers into the pitch black. His red eyes get small. Down by the lake, which should be dead quiet, there is this faint, nasty sound. Something is definitely moving around down there in the dark. So, Mr. Kang, what is the move? Yum Jinguk checks his daughter, then heads over. He is still pale, but he is holding it together. He has still got his tablet. Double the guard, especially the side facing the water. That is where the trouble came from. Kang Ho points at the lake. Board up every single ground floor window from the inside. Leave some peepholes. Barricade the door with the heavy stuff. From now on, nobody walks, we use rope ladders. Yum Jinguk scribbles it down and goes to bark orders. After that show, nobody is going to argue with Kang Ho. They are moving fast, but Kang Ho stops him. At first light, get some teams together. We need tools and building supplies from the other villas. Timber, metal, whatever. We are turning this place into a fortress. Also, find out who knows how to build stuff or has military experience. All right, let's get some answers, right now. Kang Ho stalks back to the center of the living room. Li Wu's crew already hauled those 3 nasty stalker corpses out like yesterday's trash. He eyes the survivors. They're still shaking like leaves, but there's a new spark behind the terror now. Something different. He speaks. Tonight was a warm-up. In this new world, monsters like those are everywhere. And newsflash, way worse stuff is coming. You want to live? Hiding in a corner and being afraid won't cut it. He lets that sink in, scanning the guys who actually grew a pair and grabbed weapons earlier. Starting at dawn, if you've got the guts to arm up, learn to scrap, and join the scavengers or the guards, you get an extra food ration. Plus, we watch your back first. You just want to hide? Fine. Half rations. Your life's in fate's hands then. I'm not forcing anyone. But the choice is pretty obvious. It's a cold move, but it gets the job done. A wave of unease ripples through the crowd. Heads drop. Some of them look totally torn. A few of the younger, buff dudes show some hesitation, but you can see it hardening into real resolve. Kang Ho doesn't say another word. He peels off and heads upstairs to chill and figure out how to spend the evolution points he just scored from the scrap. Kang Ho, wait, it's Yumi. She's limping over with Yum Jinguk's help. She's still pale as a ghost, but she's got this weird, focused look in her eyes now, part awe, part confusion. She opens her hand. There's that jade stone, sitting there all quiet. But if you look close, these crazy thin green light threads are swirling inside it like glowing snakes. Way more active than before. When I used it just now, I felt something else, she says, her voice shaky as she hunts for the right words. Not like seeing or hearing, just a vibe. I could feel the hate coming off those things. It was freezing cold. She looks at him, totally baffled. And when you used that lightning stuff, I felt a pulse from that too. Super faint, but way different from the monsters. Way stronger. I can't even explain it. Internal sirens start blaring for Kang Ho. This Yumi girl is awakening way differently than he expected. That jade barrier isn't just a shield. Looks like it can sense energy and intent. That definitely wasn't in the survival manual from his past life. Did she wake up too early? Or is something else glitching? Kang Ho keeps his poker face on lock. Your power is leveling up. That's good. Practice. Get used to that feeling. When it matters most, that sense could save your skin. Just don't blow your whole mental load at once. Don't drain yourself. He heads upstairs, leaving her staring at his back. Yumi looks back down at the jade in her hands. Those green threads dance around like they're listening to her thoughts. Back in his room, Kang Ho isn't ready to sleep yet. He pops the system interface back up. The weird text at the bottom is gone, but he hasn't forgotten a single word. High energy weirdness detected. Major risk anomaly. Target, Yumi. The apocalypse is early. Stalkers are where they shouldn't be. Yumi's got Jedi senses. It's all connected. He hits the window, but he's not looking at the fancy lake this time. He's staring at the city center. That patch of sky looks darker than a bad mood, barely peeking through the clouds. There's this blood-red mist so thin a normal person would miss it. It's not fire. It's something way more sinister. In his old life, after the gamma ray burst, the sky did this crimson aurora thing sometimes. They called it the bloodstone phenomenon. His eyes dart back to the lake. Someone or something is splashing around out there. Whatever scared a pack of C-rank stalkers out of their home is going to be prime prey. Plus, a water creature might have the exact skills he's missing. He sits down cross-legged. He's holding on to those evolution points for a second. Instead, he focuses on his awareness, coaxing that gross little mouth to pop up on his palm. He remembers how it felt to suck the stalker dry earlier. He tries to dig into that eat everything energy. Deep down, he feels it behind that mouth is an endless pitch-black void, something massive. Something inside is twitching, craving a specific flavor in the stalker's blood. Seems like eating different monsters gives different perks. System: bump Scarlet Thunder armament to level 3. Notification: 500 evolution points gone. Defense gets a major buff. A gold flash hits his eyes. This is even better than he thought. The lightning gauntlet can cover his whole body now. Toss in the vampire palm effect, and he's basically a walking tank. Upgrade Thunder Wings to level 3. 500 points down. Range boosted. Done. This crazy surge hits him way harder than before. Just one thought and bam thick, solid energy armor wraps his whole body. Electric currents are literally snakes coiling over the surface. A lightning visor masks his face, leaving only those glowing red eyes. These jet-black thunder wings fan out behind him, all crackling and popping. The feathers on the tips have this cold, metallic shimmer. He slowly closes his fist. Lightning pops between his knuckles with a soft hum. He's topped out at rank B and is honestly knocking on rank A's door. Kang Ho can feel that massive power just vibrating inside his chest. He's feeling way more chill about whatever's hiding in that creepy lake once the sun hits. He shuts it down, looking normal again. But man, the juice behind the look is totally different now. The sun's starting to peek out. Weak light fights through the heavy clouds, turning this wrecked-up world into a depressing shade of lead gray. In the fancy villa area, the pretty trees are all trashed. Gross dark blood and some weird slime are smeared over everything. The air is just heavy with the nasty smell of burnt skin, blood, and a hint of rot. Inside the Yam villa, everyone's already up. Honestly, most of them didn't even catch a single wink of sleep. With Yang Jinguk calling shots and Li Wu watching over, the group is quietly grinding through the chores Kang Ho set. They're reinforcing every ground floor window from the inside using random boards, broken furniture, and even some ripped-off door panels. They only left a few tiny cracks to peek through. The front door is totally blocked by heavy wooden bookshelves and couches. Every bucket and bottle is filled with deep well water that's been tossed through a basic filter. Over in the kitchen, 2 former maids are cooking a massive pot of rice mush under Yumi's watch, mixing leftovers with canned junk and meat scraps. Gotta ration the food, that's what Kang Ho ordered. He's up on the second-floor balcony, watching the courtyard and the silent houses. He's at 100% right now. With the upgraded Red Thunder gear and those wings, he's ready to wreck anything, but his brain says the danger under the quiet might be worse than he thinks. Then, Liu's voice pops up behind him. Mr. Kang. The guy looks totally wiped, but his eyes are way more focused than they were yesterday. Everything's set. 9 people are down to fight or scavenge, including my 2 boys. For gear, we basically just found some axes, iron pipes, kitchen knives, and a pair of scissors. He just shakes his head, feeling useless. It'll work, Kang Ho says. Grab 4 of the sharpest, bravest ones. Give 'em axes and pipes and follow me. The other 5 stay here. Yi needs to rest up. Don't let her use the shield unless it's life or death. Save her juice. Li Wu stands tall. Got it. Kang Ho looks at the nasty streaks in the dirt where they dragged those 3 stalker corpses away. He points toward the middle of the neighborhood. Those freaks from last night? They came from that lake over there. You can see a big patch of water from here, reflecting a dull light under the gray sky. Li Wu's face drops. There might be more of those things in there. Kang Ho turns and heads down to round up the crew. We move in 5 minutes. Lake's our first stop. 5 minutes later, Kang Ho leads Li Wu and the 4 guys out. The squad includes that golf club guy, Jiao Jiang Wo, basically a small business CEO playing hero today, a buff gardener they call Old Joe, a sharp-looking young guard named Xiao Chen, and this quiet, steady-eyed, middle-aged guy, Old Wu, who spent years in the army. Everyone's got a makeshift weapon. You can see the fear and nerves on their faces, but there's some real grit there, too. Kang Ho whispers, "Stay sharp. Spread out. Keep your eyes on the water and the grass by the edge." At the same time, with just a tiny thought, an invisible layer of lightning energy coats his skin. This is the level 3 Scarlet Thunder basics, giving him physical and energy armor. The 5 guys behind him instantly lock in, moving slowly back to back, eyes wide, checking every single corner where something might be waiting to jump them. Glug, glug, glug. A bunch of huge bubbles suddenly burst out of the middle of the lake. Kang Ho's eyes narrow. He drops a hand and the team freezes. Then a massive splash. A tentacle as thick as a barrel, covered in gross green slime, rips out of the water and slams into the air. It whips straight at them. The tentacle is like 8 meters long, easy. Forget suckers, this thing's tip peels back like a demonic flower, revealing a nasty spiral of serrated bone shredders. It's straight up nightmare fuel. Kang Ho just scoffs. Gross. He doesn't back off though. Dude actually steps closer. Right arm? Fully loaded. Scarlet Thunder armor plates up instantly, electricity popping off like crazy while he stands his ground. He's got 5 terrified civilians shaking behind him. Time to wreck this thing and show everyone who's actually in charge. Plus, he's dying to see what this level 3 Scarlet Thunder can actually do. Fist meets tentacle. It's a total train wreck of a collision, a heavy thud mixed with the sound of a giant bug getting zapped. The ground turns to dust under his boots. That savage lightning kickback sends the tentacle flying upward. A bunch of those bone teeth petals just get vaporized on impact. Green sludge and nasty blood spray the grass, sizzling like battery acid. The limb retreats, but this party's just getting started. Splash, splash, splash. 3 more identical tentacles rip out of the lake from every freaking angle. One goes for the ankles, 2 more pincer him from the sides. They're working together like they've actually got a brain. Every exit is blocked. Meanwhile, the center of the lake is bubbling hard as something massive hauls its ass up. B-rank. A little spark of hell yeah hits Kang Ho's glowing red eyes. Explains why those Stalkers bailed. 3 tentacles closing in? Fine. Time to stop playing nice. Pitch black bone wings snap open. Electricity flares up like a damn solar storm. One heavy flap and he rockets up, soaring past that tentacle trap. In midair, he just opens his right hand. A 2-meter javelin of pure, compressed lightning just appears. It glows like it's made of pure anger. The tip is blinding. Kang Ho's muscles flex hard, and he hurls that bolt straight at the shadow in the water. The spear shreds the air with a thunderclap that'll ring your ears for a week. It leaves a streak of blue-white fire, straight up divine judgment, smacking right into the lake's heart. The surface explodes. This impossible, fleshy mountain of a creature hauls itself into view, looking totally unreal. It looks like a dark green tumor that grew way past its expiration date. Over 4 meters of weeping pores and slime. No eyes. Just a giant mouthful of jagged, your screwed teeth. 8 of those nightmare tentacles are thrashing around its body like crazy. Kang Ho knows the type from his past life. Designation: Abomination Tumor. Its HP bar is basically infinite. Tentacle strength? Maxed. Neurotoxins and acid? Check. It's an ambush specialist. Weaknesses: fire, high energy blasts, and the brain knot hidden somewhere in that mess. Spear meets meat. The lightning goes nuclear on contact. Suddenly, the air smells like a burnt barbecue from hell. The tumor screeches in pure agony. A massive, charred hole is smoking where the spear hit. Slime and shredded bits fly everywhere, even as the wound starts twitching to close back up. Before he can blink, another tentacle whips at him, leaving a ghostly blur in its wake. 2 more go low, targeting Li Wu and the guys on the shore. They're frozen total deer in the headlights. A 4th limb cuts off Kang Ho's escape. He barks at the team, "Move! Get some cover!" Wings go bright. Speed? Redlined. He pulls a mid-air turn that breaks the laws of physics to dodge. Meanwhile, his left arm starts glowing scarlet. He throws a heavy punch, knocking back 2 more limbs that were trying to get cute. But the tumor isn't stupid. Those 2 tentacles going for the civilians? That was the actual killing blow. Escape is off the table. Li Wu and the crew are a split second from getting turned into pancakes. Suddenly, a thin jade-green wall flickers into existence. Both tentacles slam into the barrier hard. The barrier shakes like crazy. It's glowing, cracking, and looks ready to shatter, but it holds. It's Yomi. She'd snuck out after them. Now she's behind a tree, looking pale as a ghost. She's white-knuckling that jade stone. A little bit of blood is trickling down her chin. She's running on fumes. Kang Ho's eyes turn sharp. He's seeing red now. That barrier's toast if she takes another hit, and this blob heals too fast. Time to end this. No more holding back. The thunder wings flare to max output. He carves a jagged lightning bolt through the air, shredding 2 tentacles in a split second. Then, he dives face first into that nasty tumor monster's wide-open, toothy gullet. The big, ugly thing finally realizes it's about to get wrecked. Its 8 tentacles go into panic mode, curling up to shield its head while it pukes out a literal river of corrosive, dark green sludge. Scarlet Thunder mode, full throttle. Deep red electrical juice just starts erupting out of every single pore on Ko's body. This isn't just a glowing arm anymore, he's wearing full-on lightning armor that wraps around him like a second skin. It looks totally savage, with a jagged visor hiding his face. That green slime hits his lightning suit and just bounces off, hissing and bubbling but not getting even a millimeter through. Level 3. This Scarlet Thunder defense is on another level entirely. Now Kang Ho hits the gas, and his speed just keeps climbing. He doesn't even care about the tentacles trying to grab him or the endless stream of toxic vomit. He launches himself like a human-sized lightning nuke straight into the creature's mouth, which looks like a one-way trip to the abyss. Everyone on the shore is screaming, Mr. Kang, while the monster just freezes up like it's glitching. Suddenly, the massive pile of meat starts having a total meltdown. Those 8 tentacles start thrashing the lake, sending mud and gross water flying everywhere. You can hear these muffled booms coming from deep inside its gut, like rolling thunder under a blanket. It sounds like things are being torn and scorched in there. Nasty green and deep red light starts leaking out of its mouth and pores. The tumor monster lets out a pathetic scream. Its movements go from frantic to just weak. 5 seconds later, kaboom. The thing literally explodes from the inside out. Savage lightning force shreds that massive fleshy body into a million pieces. Slime and bits of tentacle rain down everywhere, staining the whole bank dark green. Out in the middle of the lake, the mist finally clears. This dude wrapped in red lightning just rises slowly from the water. And yeah, he's got black thunder wings now. Kang Ho's armor is covered in gross sludge and shredded meat, but the power's still humming. Not even a scratch on him. He holds out his hand, palm up. There's this funky, translucent crystal sitting there, with green and red energy swirling around inside. Ding! The system pings. B-rank mutant tumor, deleted. 300 evolution points for the win. Apparently, it's packed with life energy and mutant toxins. Kang Ho lands on the shore and lets his armor and wings just melt away. His hair and eyes go back to normal. He feels a weird pulse from the warm crystal before shoving it in his pocket. He looks over at Yumi, who's basically a noodle being held up by Xiao Django, and just gives a small nod. Not bad. Yumi tries to smile but almost hits the floor. Li Wu and the rest are looking at Kang Ho like he's some kind of god. The whole diving into a monster's mouth and nuking it from the inside thing is just too much for their brains to handle. Kang Ho doesn't care about the fan club. He walks to the edge and stares at the lake, which is still looking dark and murky as hell. He gives a little frown. The big guy is dead, but the lake is still totally trashed. Li Wu, old Wu, you're coming with me to the island. The rest of you, get Yomi back and stay frosty. The bridge to the island is totally busted, but that's zero problem for Kang Ho. He just grabs Li Wu in one hand and old Wu in the other. Those thunder wings snap open again, and he flies them right across. Xiao Jiangwo and Xiao Chen just stand on the bank, looking jealous and a little sketched out. The island is tiny, just a pavilion in the middle. It's a mess, backpacks and phones scattered everywhere. There's even a single high heel lying there. Looks like people were hauling tail when things went south. But what Kang Ho's actually looking at is this 1-meter wide hole in the floor that seems to go down forever. The edges look like they were melted, not dug. The stone and dirt around the rim have turned this creepy dark purple color. That sickly sweet rot smell, it's definitely coming from down there. Mr. Kang, this ain't natural. Doesn't look like that monster did it either. Looks more like something chewed its way up from the basement. Kang Ho leans in, his red pupils starting to glow again. He focuses, and way down in that hole, he feels this tiny energy pulse. It's barely there, but it makes his palm itch. It's not a life sign. It's more like leftover energy that's totally corrupted and weird. He remembers the system warning about that high-risk anomaly. Guess it wasn't just simple radiation after all. Kang Ho says in that low, serious voice, "The global gamma ray burst happened too soon. Whatever's down there, we can't handle it yet. Mark this spot, and stay the hell away from it." He waves the 2 guys back, then starts charging up his lightning. Man whips up some lightning spears and jams them right into the dirt around that nasty hole. Boom. Muffled explosions everywhere. The ground just caves in, swallowing that weird pit hole for a bit. Kang Ho zips back to the bank with Li Wu and old Wu. Lake's clear for now, but that water is straight up poison. Stay away from it. No drinking, no nothing. We're done here for today. Let's get back to base. Later today, we're hitting the 2 closest villas. If it's useful, we're taking it. Focus on tools, meds, fuel, and canned food. If you hit a few monsters, team up and scrap. Build that muscle memory. If things get too hairy, give me a sign. I'll squash it. Then the whole crew heads back home. They get Yumi inside to crash. The rest start making some basic grub while trying to wrap their heads around today. Kang Ho hits the rooftop solo. He pulls out that nasty tumor crystal he ripped from the monster. Under the gray sky, the energy inside swirls around, looking equal parts pretty and I'm gonna kill you. He taps into the system with his mind. Ding, notification, special energy crystal detected. Got life energy, mutant sludge, and a touch of high-risk nastiness. Translation: tons of points and trait shards. Points are cool, but fast healing and acid armor? Way more useful, especially that acid-proof stuff. It had finally patched that hole in his defense against nasty, melty attacks. Poison's it, I guess, but his whole vibe right now is all about that lightning. No need for poison now. He picks the healing and acid armor shards instead. Evolution points? He can always grind those later. Permanent buffs to your core stats are way harder to find. Kang Ho just thinks, do it. Keep it clean, kill the corruption, and keep the good stuff. He bets on the system to handle the mess. 2 warm waves hit him. One's pure life, the other's cold and tough. He can totally feel his natural healing factor getting a serious power-up. Plus, his skin's got this invisible layer that shrugs off acid now. Not too shabby at all. It's just a basic tweak, but it's a permanent boost to his core stats. He's about to check the system for the breakdown. Then his ears twitch. A steady thumping sound starts drifting in from the city. Not wind, not some monster screaming. It's an engine, a lot of them, and that heavy grinding sound of tank tracks on asphalt. Army? Or just some big shot survivors? Kang Ho walks to the edge of the roof to look. Under that depressing sky, huge clouds of dust are kicking up from the city side. They're heading straight for the villas. Kang Ho's red eyes narrow. Looks like the peace and quiet part of the apocalypse just ended. That engine growl gets louder and louder. Tracks are grinding the road like some steel monster coming to eat 'em. It totally kills the morning silence of the villa neighborhood. Yep, armored troop carriers. No random group of survivors is rolling around with gear this heavy. Could be army, could be mercs. Kang Ho's thinking fast. In his old life, things went south way quicker than people thought. Back when things started, leftover army units and superpowered gangs were already rushing to grab all the loot and start their own kingdoms. He hears people running around downstairs. Li Wu and the gang definitely heard the noise too. Everyone grabs their crappy weapons and huddles by the windows. Jinguk's helping a super pale Yumi into the living room right now. All eyes zoom in on the roof where Kang Ho is. He turns around and heads down, totally chill. Over 20 people are staring him down in the living room. Convoy's coming, he says. They're heading here. Lots of them, big guns. Li Wu, get everyone to the second floor. Now, get in a solid room and stay ghost. Don't come out or make a peep. Wait for my signal. Yumi, save your juice. No using powers unless it's do or die. Jinguk can tell from Kang Ho's voice. This is bad. These guys are trouble. People who roll up with heavy armor usually aren't looking to make new best friends. Kang Ho peeks out the window. He can finally see the front of the line now. They're all painted dark green but got 0 army logos. Kang Ho says, get ready for a fight. Remember, we're a team now. He's dead serious, and it hits the panicked crowd like a sudden shot of pure adrenaline. With Li Wu's push, the squad ghosts upstairs like ninjas, leaving only Kang Ho, Jinguk, Yumi, strapped Li Wu, and that OG veteran Wu holding it down downstairs. Peeking through those tiny peepholes in the armored-up door, they watch the motorcade screech to a halt on the main strip near the edge of the crib.